With the rapid growth in Africa's population comes the high demand for clothing, which is estimated to have doubled over the last 2 decades. Critically, the fashion industry, which contributes more than $2 billion to Nigeria's economy, has been described as the second most polluting industry in the world after oil and gas. The practice of fast fashion has contributed significantly to fashion waste, water resource overconsumption, water pollution, and increased carbon footprint, all of which come at a high cost to the environment. Now, to have a quick chat around that, we are now being joined by fashion entrepreneur Banke Kuku. It feels great to have you on the morning show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm definitely sitting with a legend in the Nigerian fashion industry.
Thank you so much.
So we've spoken about the dangers of fast fashion, but Banke Kuku is not fast fashion.
No,
yes.
No, we are slow fashion.
Yes, but I want you to describe more so what it entails to build a company like yours, build a brand like yours, and how it's impacted on the Nigerian economy or the Nigerian creative space.
So I built Banke Kuku in Nigeria about 5 years ago, so we're now 5 years old, and it has been a very interesting and challenging in some parts, but it's been an incredible journey. It's been incredible to be able to get to know my customers, who I call my Kuku tribe, and really build a community around my brand, which has been really important. So Banke Kuku always tells a nature story. And we have an upcoming collection which is based on sustainability, it's based on life underwater, and so we're really excited to show that in October.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about, how sustainable fashion in itself is becoming such a big topic in the fashion industry, and it's great to see an internationally recognized fashion designer like you joining the conversation. Can you tell us how you've prioritized this over the years, and talk to us about that collection, Oceans, I believe, that is specifically, focused on this particular topic?
So we're generally a sustainable brand anyway. We have a zero waste policy. We do drop new collections to keep the excitement, but nothing ever goes out of fashion. So just because it's a previous collection doesn't mean we're going to dispose of it or burn it, or as long as it's selling, it's there. Our customers are buying. We keep it on the racks. We also our offcuts. We used to make scrunchies, and during COVID, we used them to make face masks as well, and eye masks and little things, our bags as well. So we really try and consume all our fabrics as much as possible. As well as this, along with the zero waste policy, we digitally print, which is much better for the environment. It uses less water, and we try and use eco-friendly dyes. So Oceans is specifically meant to, is more than fashion. It's more like impacting the environment, and we're actually taking physical steps to contribute to our community and help clean up the oceans. And Oceans really tells, I was really inspired by, there was a ban on some non-reusable plastics in Lagos last year. That really inspired me, and I started to research more about it and the impact plastic has on the ocean. I hear lots of stories about in the past what the ocean used to look like. I compare it to where it is now and where it could be in the future if we abide by these laws. So that's really what my collection talks about.
All right. You said something that I think I missed. What you called your customers? Did you?
The Kuku tribe.
Kuku tribe. Okay. Okay, you know yourselves.
Oh yeah.
All right. For the benefit of viewers, when you say that what you do is slow fashion,
yes.
Tell us the difference between that and fast fashion, and what's the implication, for the Nigerian market?
So fast fashion is fashion goods that are very low priced. Okay. And to achieve those, and the market moves very quickly. It's seasonal, it's dropping like new styles all the time. But to achieve those low prices, producers they use fabrics that are nylon or polyesters, and to produce these fabrics, you're using plastics, and so you get little particles of plastics that end up in the ocean. And this obviously is very bad for the environment. And the idea of fast fashion, because it's cheap, it moves so quickly, you wear something once, throw it away, the value of the item is not, it's very low. So what slow fashion aims to do is we produce pieces that you can wear for a long time. We opt for natural fabrics like linen, cotton, things like that are biodegradable, because these plastic fabrics that are being used, sometimes it can take 1,000 years to actually break down.
That's right.
And also producing those fabrics, sometimes it produces greenhouse gases and all sorts of things that are not so good for the environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I read somewhere that you create your own prints yourself.
I do.
So you're an artist beyond just being a fashion entrepreneur.
I am.
So can you tell us a bit about what inspired you also to start Banke Kuku? What inspires you when you're making your prints? And also this idea of elevating Nigerian fashion beyond just what we're used to seeing it, but the importance of, I want to say, maybe IP, intellectual property?
Yes. That's a lot of questions.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I was inspired to create Banke Kuku because I wanted to tell a Nigerian story, and I think it's very important to tell a Nigerian story as a Nigerian. So I tend to tell Nigerian nature stories. So my current collection is it's called Eden, and it tells a nature story in Nigeria, and I was inspired by Eden, the perfect garden, and I talk about the bougainvillea. I talk about plants and animals that are in Nigeria, and I tell it in a very beautiful way. And it's all about I tell stories, but with where my brand is going, I now want to make impact. I want my prints to have a purpose. I want to contribute to my community. So we have a lot of prints basically, and so I love being able to. I love seeing Nigerians wear my prints. I love also seeing people from around the world, wearing my prints, because I feel as if we're spreading the Nigerian story globally. Yeah. I can't remember the last part of your question.
The last one was about, I'm so sorry, but the reason I asked the last one about intellectual property, because you create your own, and I have seen copies of your own, and I wonder if that hinders growth in the market
Well, I think it's a global thing, if you think about all the a lot of brands globally are copied. That's the market, that's how the market is. Does it affect me? I think the brands that are actually, do literally lift the designs, they're targeting a different market. I think my customers will always be my customers. It is something we're trying to fight. I work with a great team of lawyers that do it, and we try and protect my designs as much as possible. But it's something that I don't allow get to me. When I first started seeing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was, but because, I was at the very beginning of my journey, I couldn't really spend that time fighting so much. So, we do fight, but then the aim is to just keep designing, and and they're playing catch up the whole time.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, this Oceans Fashion Show does seem like a big deal. Congratulations on it.
Thank you.
Is there a way that more people can support you to raise awareness, about environmental sustainability?
Yes, I mean, we're in lots of conversations with charities as well locally, on who they actually do physically clean the ocean, and so working with them, we have amazing partners in our fashion show this year. We're working with MAC, Mikano, and they're all really ramping up their sustainability part of their business. So it's amazing to be able to work with these big brands and really push a more sustainable lifestyle in Nigeria.
All right, Banke, I would like to know what your thoughts are regarding where the Nigerian fashion is as at today, especially in comparison, and maybe comparison is not the word, when you look at the creative ecosystem. We know where we are with Afrobeats and the new Nigerian sounds. We know what Nollywood has done, globally for filmmakers, the visual artists. We know what they're doing, our literature. As for fashion, do we have that sort of volume yet in terms of people doing well and then crossing over to the other places? And what is it like in terms of revenue, in terms of investment, in terms of, you know what I'm talking about? Where are we? Are we competing?
There's definitely there's definitely demand for Nigerian fashion. The Nigerian fashion industry is something that is greatly admired. From Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. I think over the past, I don't know, 10 years, more Nigerians are wearing Nigerian brands. And this wasn't the case. Before, people would travel to buy their clothes. Now people are buying their clothes to travel. And it's been amazing for us fashion designers. The market is growing. Obviously, within the industry, there's more than just being a fashion designer. There's production, there's manufacturing, there's PR, there's so many different things. And I'm seeing more companies, every day growing and supporting us designers. There is a gap, there is a bit of a gap in places like manufacturing, but again, the efforts are there and they are growing, and people are putting a lot of effort to kind of build the manufacturing side of it. It's not, it can be better, but it's growing, and that's the most important thing. And also the huge part of it is education. Education is so big. It's amazing how we have taught. Well, I did go to school for this, but it's amazing how so many amazingly talented designers have literally taught themselves their skills. It would be amazing to have actual, schools and things for young people to learn skills, which it's coming up as well. I know there are some schools that are doing some great things. So
just in 2 seconds, outside of the exhibition halls and the Owambe parties, do you think that we weigh enough of what we make, what we produce?
It's definitely growing. It's definitely growing, and I love to see the growth. Before, you wouldn't. People were not wearing Nigerian designers, but now, before the summer starts, I have my customers come and say, "Banke, I'm traveling. I need, I need all my looks." Before, the Nigerians would never do that. They would pack an empty suitcase when they get to London. They'll do their shopping, and then when they come back to Nigeria, they wear everything they buy. So I think that's
a good one.
It's happening.
Well
the
done.
movement is moving.
Thank you for the contribution to the fashion industry.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the contribution to my own personal one.
Thank you for
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.